Hi, I'm Benny. I'm a hyperactive 6-year-old with the impulse control of a meth addict. I'm not real, but I do live in every adult male trying to live out their dreams of getting rich quick with sports gambling. And to keep me from losing all my money betting women's tennis qualifiers, I use OddShopper to keep my ADHD from going wild. If I click the button a bunch of times per day on OddShopper, then I can use some of my winnings to bet on kids playing video games. If you want to be as smart as a child like me and still make money betting on sports, then give them a try. If you use the link that these man-children share, they will help get you started. You can find the link in the show notes or on goodjujubets.net. Good juju bets, everyone. I'm going to pull every cushion off the couch and throw them randomly around the house for my dad to trip over.
We can't lose. No, we can't lose.
Enjoy it while it lasts. Gambling gods, fickle bunch.
Oh, yeah.
So easily affected.
We have a shooter and a good one coming out for a new point. Get your bets down, ladies and gentlemen. He's a rolling point is 9, place 9. 9 a winner. Got a hot hand. Place your bets, ladies and gentlemen.
They bet on absolutely anything. Don't make them prove it.
And I bolt almost wide awake. The thought just hits me. I am the softest human being alive.
You're tuned in to Gambling with Good Juju.
Welcome in, everybody, to Gambling with Good Juju. I'm going to do my best to pretend there's something other than college basketball to pay attention to the next 4 weeks. Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, all that and more to the show on your favorite podcast platform. Give us a follow at Good Juju Bets on X.
It was like, is that what's going on in the next 4 weeks? Your children? Or what was the other thing?
Nothing.
Oh, nothing.
College basketball. I'm going to pretend to pay attention.
Okay, gotcha. Like your children.
No, like, we're going to talk about the NFL
Celtics.
free agency this week.
I understand.
The only content I knew of before I researched it for this show is
your sleep patterns.
Is Kurt's messages to me about what the Bears are doing.
R.I.P. to Darnell Mooney for his touchdown tickets.
And we're going to get into this running back thing because that's all I really want to talk about.
Nobody liked my "there's no point in living anymore" after Darnell Mooney post.
It was a little dark. And at least it was like, I like how everybody wished me a happy birthday for a few minutes and then it got right into free agency.
Well, happy birthday, Lise.
Right.
You genuinely only get one.
What
You
HBD?
generally only get one
God.
happy birthday.
Yeah. She thought it was funny. She wasn't like upset about it, of course.
It'd be way funnier if she was.
Like actually upset.
Yeah, she was like, God, free agency.
Blast.
Every year it ruins my birthday.
Next year, when everybody's doing happy birthday,
Oh,
I'm just gonna like right in the middle. I'm gonna be like, Bear sign. Blah, blah, blah.
Bears line offensive lineman.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to put the whole scouting report in there.
And then be like, oh yeah, happy
drafted
birthday.
in the 6th round. 297 pounds.
Went to Bible school, Corpus Christi. runs a 8.640.
She'll love that. Love you, Lise.
All right. We got to get this back on track.
All right.
God, that's a great idea.
You just get us this week, people. I think that's kind of I think we're kind of letting that show right now.
What a treat. What a treat.
We did not hold ourselves together for 45 minutes for an interview before starting this, so we're a little bit silly. Just a little bit silly. So, no one's fault, but unfortunately this week, Heather Aces was unable to make it. We're still in the works to have her on at some point, so you know what? We're going to go off the rails today.
All right.
We've done a real good job of giving our audience insight into the world of sports gambling. But today, I have a topic outside that I want to discuss. Not just that, we also need to dive into the world of NFL free agency and how the market has evolved because of it. And we're taking a quick look at the NCAA tournament odds board to see where we stand. Next week, we will be all NCAA tournament on our end, then diving into baseball with Derek Carty.
Yes.
I am super excited for Derek Carty. That's going to be one of our more anticipated interviews, in my opinion.
Yeah, I can't wait.
All right.
Baseball's next week. Is that when it starts?
2 weeks.
2 weeks. Yeah, got it.
All right. We're gonna do something that often like to do, and that's give advice to other people about what they should do with their lives.
Was that a joke? You can't be serious.
Do I look serious?
Oh, yeah. This is going to be great. I'm going to have a Sour Patch
Just
Kid.
keep eating sugar. Both of you. Let the good times roll. I can't believe he just said that on the mic. I don't like giving life advice.
He almost got it out. Shout out Sour Patch Kids, future sponsor of the show.
Oh, I love giving advice to other people about their lives.
I know.
I can't wait to get Pat on.
I've been a recipient for 35 years.
All the way up until the exact point he hit record today.
I'm sure there was some point in first or second grade where Pete was like, you know what, Curtis? You should do your homework. And I'm like, no.
Not happening. Mad Libs only.
So I'm bringing out a new segment I call Breezy's Life Advice. Episode 1, Sleeping.
Ah, yes.
That's right, folks. Amazingly, I want to talk about sleep today.
Right, we got to take sleeping advice from the guy that doesn't do it.
I do now.
Oh, okay,
finally.
good.
I'm
Good.
getting better.
Good.
Finally, my sleep habits are getting better. And I think that it's important that I address this topic because of that.
What does that have to do with sports gambling, Peter?
I'll tell you what it has to do with sports gambling. I find myself caring more about my sleep habits than I have ever done before.
And they say gambling's not good for you.
Well, let me tell you, now that I use an odds screener, I'm suddenly expected to not only be awake, but actually using my brain at 8 in the morning. As someone who worked from home in an office environment, that was actually never expected of me. I'm not going to say it was known, but it was kind of known to not book my calendar early in the day at work.
I can see that.
Like my
That's a
employees,
you thing.
when I had employees, they knew.
Of
Like,
course.
Smart.
Like,
Right.
yeah, there's no reason to talk to Peter at 9 a.m. That's not going to get me anywhere.
Have a whole pot of coffee first.
Yeah. I had a real rule: no Monday morning meetings of any kind and no Friday afternoon meetings of any kind.
Smart.
That's a good rule.
Only people who were important enough I couldn't tell that rule to booked meetings. I would tell my bosses, like, no, we don't do Monday mornings or Friday afternoons. No, thank you.
Okay, CEO Pete. Right?
So listen. Having said that, I've been thinking about just how weird I am about getting to sleep. In fact, I was just falling asleep last night to the sound of Kevin Bacon's voice in my ear, telling me what a dreamboat he is, when it hit me that we probably should share some of this great wisdom we've accumulated throughout the years.
Can you explain to me why Kevin Bacon is whispering sweet nothings into your ear?
Oh, we will get to that, my friend.
All in due time.
So, as RJ alluded to, first let's break down just how bad this has been for me. in life,
Okay.
Okay. So, I didn't know that I had serious sleep issues as a kid. You know, when I tossed and turned for 2 to 3 hours every night in bed, dreading everything about where I was and beating myself up for not going to sleep while also somehow getting in trouble for this with my parents. I thought we all did this. Like, I thought that was normal. I thought every kid could not sleep.
No.
Then I met my wife, you know, we got cozy together when we were dating, and I started to realize, wait a second, she's falling asleep like every time, very quickly. Maybe something is wrong with me. So my quest began.
How long is this quest? Because you've been with Christy for a long time,
Yeah.
Pete.
Well, I would say I picked up tip number 1, getting comfortable,
Okay.
Okay.
sometime in college. And that is my very first tip for everyone: a fan on the face. Oh, baby. The white noise combined with cool air on the face or back is a soothing lullaby to send you to sleep.
You even do this in the wintertime?
Do you do this every night? Oh my gosh, in the wintertime, it's the best.
Having a fan on your face?
What are you, freezing cold in bed in the winter?
I mean, it's a little chill.
Yeah, totally.
Some of us keep our house an appropriate temperature. Neither of you guys use a fan?
I do in the summer.
In the summer.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, we do the ceiling fan in the summer.
You don't do it on the face? I put a fan on the nightstand.
Like a little fan? Like right at you?
Yeah. It's like 2
Neat.
feet away from me,
Yeah, okay.
blowing in my face. Put it on low. You can't put it too high or else you get a sore throat.
That was going to be my first question.
Hmm.
The sore throat.
Low setting.
Okay.
You're fine. Low setting. Yeah.
Any particular make or model you want to shout out here?
We've been buying Honeywells.
Okay, good. Yeah, that's a tried and true brand for sure.
Yeah. All right. Now we got to move on here. All right. Next topic. Next tip here. It's the comfort that you sleep with. So we're going to call them pillows. The pillows that you use. I use a knee pillow, a firm pillow under the head, and then a soft pillow for snuggling. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, totally.
Do you guys do that?
I
Yep.
mean, I have a large pillow that I put my arm and knee around.
Yeah.
You know, like I actually have a really hot girl sleeping next to me at night.
The pillow's got a wig.
That's how that works. So I do that.
Look. I've used the body pillow before, but I have to flip side to side a few times.
Okay.
And the body pillow is a pain in the ass to flip with. So the knee pillow combined with a soft pillow to cuddle and a hard pillow for your head, then you can flip and you're much better off.
Got it.
Right. So I started with those two things.
Okay.
Okay. And that worked for a while, really improved. Kind of like a godsend. But I still had issues sleeping. You know what? My biggest problem remained. Do you know what that was?
Getting the voices to stop in your head.
Getting my brain to shut the up.
Yeah. Bingo.
I battled with this my whole life. Didn't matter how comfortable I was. I can't shut my brain off. But eventually, I learned a trick from the military that actually really helped.
Oh, interesting.
Is this when you were in special forces?
Googling stuff is part of my quest.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
That's all, you know?
Shout out Google.
So, tip number 2, shutting down your brain.
Okay.
All right, here we go. You want to build a quiet place in your brain. You may not believe me here, but it works. Here's where it gets funny. So first, I used to imagine I had a studio apartment in San Diego. Absolutely bare bones, no complications within the walls, overlooking the ocean. Really worked. Quieted my brain down. I just put myself in this studio apartment. And it was like I wouldn't think about other things and I would just imagine myself in there and it would calm me down. But over time, it starts to wear off, you know, lost some of its effectiveness.
Yeah.
So I started getting a little bit more weird. I started looking at places in San Diego, like on like Zillow, that met my criteria in order to sharpen the visual.
Minimalist condos.
Yeah. But after a while, I had to move on.
Yeah. Different.
So
city.
then I built my latest dream castle, which is what I'm calling it. An RV campsite.
Oh, perfect.
Yes,
Yeah.
right. A quiet, calm
Yeah.
RV campsite.
Right.
Beautiful.
Fire crackling.
It's in the woods.
Yeah.
It's next to a lake. It's got a little dock. You know, I go hiking in the trails.
Yeah.
The RV is baller. I mean, absolute baller. It's got TVs on the outside of it. Nice little cozy place to sleep.
Do you have electrical hookups?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Oh, yes. And then, like, I envision myself there and doing different activities. Put me to sleep.
Okay.
So, after a while, that kind of started to run its course. Let me tell you one thing about that. My Google News algorithm got wild for a while there. Every 5th news article hitting my feed was about RV life. Mind you, I've never owned an RV. I think I've spent one night in my entire life in an RV. But for whatever reason, it just sounds like a nice place to be when you're trying to fall asleep. After a while, that one ran its course, and finally, I broke down and got the Calm app. No, they are not a sponsor. No, this is not a paid advertisement. This is just Weirdo Pete talking.
Future sponsor of the show.
Maybe future sponsor of the show, sure. I figured I'd just use their quiet noises to help me get to sleep, but I discovered something way better. Sleep stories. Every night I put on some soothing story that if I was trying to stay awake would bore me to tears, but it's somehow perfect when I'm trying to sleep. They range from tales of beautiful places on Earth to children's stories about silly bedtime shenanigans.
And registries.
I listen to them all. Last night's was one of my favorite ever. Brand new. Kevin Bacon telling the story, The Dreamboat, about Captain Dreamboat Cooper, D.B. Cooper for short,
Oh.
and his dreamboat that he uses to chase a woman around his dreams all night. He can't ever really see her, but he can see her. You know, like a dream.
Well, don't tell me how it ends.
It was great until the absurdity of it all dawned on me. Laying there in the dark on a super comfy bed with a fan gently blowing in my face, a pillow between my knees, under my head, and one just being cuddled, with headphones in, and Kevin Bacon's soothing tenor in my ears, and 150 milligrams of trazodone enveloping my body in sleep. And I bolt almost wide awake. The thought just hits me. I am the softest human being alive. I'm being drifted off to sleep on a cloud to the sound of a soothing man's voice in my ear with artificially created wind blowing gently on me. Why am I dropping all this knowledge?
Yeah, do share.
Because I've really woken up.
You actually typed that out.
To just how critical this is to me. If I get 6 hours of sleep, I'm genuinely less productive. For some reason, I quit my job and found myself needing to be like 10 times as productive. I didn't really notice before just how important it was because I didn't care. Now I actually want to be productive.
Yeah.
So for all you out there struggling, I hear you. It can really suck. If you haven't spent real time in your life working through this, I would recommend giving some of these tips a shot. Just to summarize, some of the things that have helped me. Circulating air or white noise, supportive pillows, a comfortable mattress, a mental safe space, your own dream castle. A cozy band. Thank you for giving it back to me after stealing it, RJ. Anyone who wants to know, this is also not an advertisement. A cozy band for your sleep stories.
Is that what that thing's actually for?
Yeah, it's called a cozy band. And you wear it around your head, and then when you lay down, you don't have like earbuds in your ears, and you have to get a little bit used to the speaker, but once you do, it's the best way for your sleep stories. Speaking of which, sleep stories. Did I not already say that? Maybe
Is that an app?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then, if you need anything, medication or sleep.
Melatonin.
Yeah, melatonin. Look, honestly, I'm not here to push pills. People use all kinds of things. I know, Kurt, you use melatonin, right?
Every night.
Yeah. So if you can avoid it, great. If you need it, great. It helps me. So sports? Any thoughts?
Should we talk about sports?
No. But seriously,
You know what I do?
Do you guys do any of this stuff?
I turn on YouTube and I turn on a 90-minute video about how to get the most out of your slot play. And I have no interest in doing that. And it puts me right to sleep.
I've always seen in all my research that putting on the TV is the way to go.
Yeah, but I heard.
No, it's not.
Yeah, because doesn't it mess with your circadian rhythm? Because the light.
You want a dark, quiet,
Yeah.
calm space.
But I mean, whatever floats your boat.
Right.
If it works for you, it works for
Right.
you.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
This is what's helped me.
Good.
And if anyone out there needs it,
Yeah. DM us.
what a weird thing that I decided I want to share with the
And we'll
world.
walk you through using an odd screener and
You know what-
or sleeping.
When I was with Lee, like all she watched was murder shows.
Oh, yeah.
So like
Ah.
I'd be going to bed and it would be like 48 hours. Man kills his family. That's how I'd be falling asleep. It's like, okay.
Restful.
Yeah, right. Way to get me in the mood to, relax and drift off into space than, the mass murder of a family. So that's how I fell asleep.
Do you at least put something between your knees?
This guy will fall asleep on the hard concrete.
It don't matter.
Yeah.
Look, people who sleep with their knees together might be serial killers.
He doesn't do that. He's spread
That's
out.
disgusting.
No, when he's on the couch, he's just like, bleh.
You need something
seen it.
between your knees. Get something soft. You work on your sleep, son.
Yeah, heard that.
Woo. Okay, sports. Should we talk about those?
Oh, my God. Could we?
We've got two different futures odds boards that I want to get into today. First, and this is a funny word, legal tampering started Monday in the NFL.
Please explain.
Yeah, so apparently you explain. You probably
Yeah.
know better than
This
me.
is like actual term.
I got a perfect example of legal tampering and what happens in all this shenanigans. So free agency technically starts Wednesday at 3:00 Central Time. But starting Monday, 2 days prior, at 11 a.m. Central Time, you can technically negotiate contracts with free agents.
Legal tampering.
You can't sign them, but you can come to an agreement of terms.
Got it.
And the thing is, and this happened just to the Niners, they agreed to sign a linebacker, right? And it was reported Eric Kendricks gets a 1-year deal with the 49ers. Today, at the very last minute, he backed out and signed with the Cowboys.
Hit the transfer protocol.
Yeah, hit the transfer protocol. So guys do this all the time. They agree to, hey, I'll sign with you. We got a deal worked out, and then last minute flipped.
Yeah.
So we kind of saw that with Calvin Ridley today too.
Oh,
yeah.
Where'd he go?
He ended up signing with the Titans for a lot of money.
Yeah, 100 million.
Close.
Yeah,
very close. But he was basically in talks with the Jaguars, re-signing. He was saying he wants to be back there, and then last second got snatched up by the Titans.
I love it.
So
he's a gambler.
When you get the
favorite football player,
you rolled the dice.
Yeah,
roll the dice.
When you start hearing guys sign on Monday and Tuesday, you kind of have to just take it with a grain of salt.
Cautious.
Yep. Yeah, and got to wait till it officially becomes official on Wednesday.
Huh.
So that's how that legal tampering works.
I love it. That's a great phrase.
What's the NFL's term for that period?
Basically just like they call it negotiating. So like
legal tampering is a slang phrase.
Yeah.
Yeah. Push my glass. That's a slang phrase, right?
Yes.
Got it. Okay. So let's get into free agency then. So I actually didn't know about Calvin Ridley either, but what the hell? Every other big move felt like it was a running back move.
Yeah, it was.
How many are there more players on new teams? Are there going to be more new starting running backs than returning starting running backs at the start of next year?
Feels like it.
Yeah, it's going to be crazy for fantasy football because you have guys in totally, completely different places. Right?
It's going to be really hard to rank running backs.
I agree.
Is Tony Pollard to the Titans good or bad for me?
Probably. I mean, I don't know. Probably not great.
No, really? Okay.
Great.
I mean, so another thing with the legal tampering too is like, so teams have to get under the salary cap by a certain time Wednesday today. So all teams had to be under a cap.
Yeah.
Right. So you saw it with Joe Mixon. The Bengals were going to release Joe Mixon outright, and they put it out there like, we're cutting Joe Mixon. And it was all over the news like Bengals are going to release Joe Mixon. What happened to Joe Mixon? He got traded at the very last second to the Texans. So that's what happens too, is teams come out and they say, hey, we're going to release X player.
Yeah.
And other teams across the league go, yeah, we kind of don't want to take our chances with that player getting cut. So we'll trade you a late round pick for him or something along those lines.
No cap hit.
Yep.
Interesting.
That is interesting. So who do you think won the RB carousel?
The Vikings. The Vikings crushed it. I can't believe the Packers cut Aaron Jones. That blew my mind. So they cut him because he didn't want to take a pay cut. And then he goes and signs with the Vikings for a pay cut.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
That's hilarious.
That is so funny.
Yeah.
It was, because players get so salty when teams ask them to take a pay cut. And I can see that. So Jones was like, I ain't taking a pay cut. And then just to kind of rub it in, signs with the Vikings at a lower price.
Yeah.
In the division.
In the division.
Oh, that's
But Aaron Jones is a stud back, man.
Totally.
Like
sharing the backfield in Green Bay.
He's unbelievable. And the fact that he was out there for anybody to sign was just like, and the Packers just flipped him for Jacobs.
Yeah.
Like I didn't understand that. And then they gave Jacobs a bunch of money.
So weird.
It's just like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
You drafted Aaron Jones. He's been there forever. And now you're just going to...
Like a community staple, it appears.
Right. And you're just going to dump him and then go get Jacobs.
Yeah.
Does anyone know why the madness in the running back market happened?
Yeah, because teams don't value running backs.
They're undervalued, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's just a little zany, though, to like give somebody else a bunch of money.
Right. They're just switching around. They're not actually like, are they all being devalued in these moves?
Power struggle.
Yes.
Are they all pay cuts?
Yeah. So I don't know if you guys remember last year, but like the running backs were getting super salty about free agency because nobody was giving them the money that they wanted.
The big contracts like they used to get, right?
Yeah. So they had this like players meeting where it was Ezekiel Elliott, Barkley, some of these guys that were getting tagged and things like that. And they all met on Zoom to like figure out how they were going to
Stick it to them.
Yeah, stick it to the teams that weren't giving them what they wanted. And that kind of was like the theme this year is teams don't value running backs.
Yeah, it's over.
Because you can go get, I mean, so many teams have proven you can just go get a running back in the 4th, 5th, 6th round.
That's where it's at.
Isaiah Pacheco was a 7th round pick.
Yeah.
He was like 13 from the last pick in the draft.
It's your system.
I've been saying this for years.
Yeah. So why would somebody pay you $30 million, whatever, guaranteed, give you $15 million a year, unless you're Christian McCaffrey, right?
Right.
Why would somebody pay you all that money when they can replace your production in a draft with a guy making $950,000 a year?
He has a maximum amount of money he can earn.
Right.
So speaking of knowing your market, how about old Justin Fields is not a starting quarterback in the NFL?
Nailed that one.
So, yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, it went from like, we were talking with Colleen, right? Like, are the Bears going to get a the 2nd round pick? And
Yeah.
now it's like, nobody wants him.
Nothing. Crickets.
And the Bears might get a 5th round pick or something like that.
Maybe. Yeah.
Which is crazy.
And like Sam Darnold's going to be a starter and the Kirk Cousins routine.
Right.
We're going back to Justin Fields. First
Okay.
of all, if Justin Fields does not get traded and the Bears take Caleb Williams, number 1 overall,
Yep.
do I get to victory lap the 2 QBs getting drafted?
Absolutely not. Because during that exact program, we said that is literally the worst thing that could happen.
Yeah. They're not going to do that. Like, he's getting moved.
Or not.
Or not.
Or they keep him and don't draft Williams, right?
Or they keep him in draft Williams. And Justin Fields starts 3 games.
Oh, I don't think they're on the roster.
I
Both of them.
Yeah.
want
Well, now that we got
it
Brett Rippon.
now. I want it now.
Yeah, I understand that, but the way the teams operate, they just don't keep 2 young quarterbacks that they draft high.
Sure.
They haven't before.
Yeah, nobody really has.
Before.
Yeah.
But maybe now.
But maybe now. The Bears might be the first team to do it.
Uh,
And I saw somebody was like, well, they do it in Green Bay, and it's like, well, yeah, Rodgers is 38. So, of course, they're going to draft a quarterback. Right?
If they do
Favre
it,
is 36. They're going to draft a
I
quarterback.
don't care what either of you say. I'm claiming victory
Yeah,
on the
neat.
2 QBs conversation.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's totally fine.
How about Matt Araiza getting a deal with Kansas City?
I saw that.
Who's that?
Yeah, go ahead.
He was accused of rape.
Sexual assault.
Yeah.
Wow.
He was accused of sexual assault at San Diego State after getting drafted by the Bills. The Bills then immediately cut him. He was then exonerated,
Oh,
and now he's with the Chiefs.
okay.
Like fully exonerated.
Yep, he was fully exonerated.
Okay.
And he was like a first-round draft pick punter. Like, wasn't he?
No.
Okay, he was a drafted
He was drafted punter. He was a drafted
punter.
He was the best punter coming out of the draft.
I think he might have been the only punter drafted in that draft.
There's usually only 0 or 1.
And his career, everyone thought it was over.
Mm-hmm.
And now he's with Kansas City. So with that fun topic out of the way,
Yeah, boy.
here are the current
Buzz killing them.
odds to win the title next year per circa.
All right.
49ers 6-1, Chiefs 6.5 to 1, Ravens 10 to 1, Cowboys 11 to 1, Bills 12 to 1, Lions 12 to 1, Bengals 15 to 1, Packers 18 to 1, Eagles 20 to 1, Chargers 22 to 1. Anyone stand out here or anyone we are surprised isn't viewed in the top 10?
Packers.
Boys, I'll let you go first.
Packers are low, right?
You think the Packers are low?
Yeah.
I had it on here. They added McKinney. How big is that, Kurt?
I mean, he's a good corner.
They added McKinney. They swapped out, like we said, Jones for Jacobs.
Yeah.
Jacobs. Yeah.
Who's the Vikings quarterback?
Sam Darnold.
Sam Darnold. Yeah, okay. Yeah, and the Bears are going to stink. So you got the Lions.
So
Are they?
The Bears?
Are they going to stink?
I'm pretty sure.
Bears are like 28 to 1 now. In circa.
Okay.
They're below 30 to 1.
Well, that's a victory.
That's a big boost from 55 to 1 last year.
I got them at 40 to 1 a couple weeks ago.
Sharp.
One thing that does stand out to me is the Ravens adding Derrick Henry, and they're plus 1,000, so 10 to 1. I think they're going to be better.
And don't forget the Steelers added Russell Wilson.
The Steelers added Russell Wilson. So my whole entire other chat is all about the Steelers. Like, they're like, oh, Russell Wilson's going to make the Steelers so good, and they're going to be so good. They're 11 to 1 to even win the division.
Russell Wilson's going to be the backup, isn't he?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, I think Kenny
You think he's
Pickett's
gonna be
still
the
the
back?
presumed starter.
Oh my gosh.
I think
Wow.
Russell Wilson's going there as the backup.
That'll be interesting.
So maybe the backup quarterback makes them a title contender, but I doubt it. The Cowboys at 11 to 1? No one's shocked by that?
I mean,
yeah, I am shocked by that.
they're
They
losing
haven't done
pieces.
anything.
Right.
Yeah, they got stinky old Dak.
Yeah, and they lost Pollard. Yeah,
Yeah.
I wouldn't bet the Cowboys.
All they have is CeeDee Lamb, right?
Yeah, yeah.
They're the 4th highest rated team here.
They know
Yeah.
everybody's going to bet on them, though, right?
And then the Packers 18 to 1. I don't like that.
I don't like the Eagles or the Chargers either, where they're at, especially the Chargers at 22 to 1. That seems pretty insane.
Like, I could see. Yeah.
Okay. Eagles at 20 to 1.
Yeah.
I like it.
Do you?
They added Barkley and Huff. They're 1 year removed from a title run.
I think they should be closer up to where the Cowboys are.
You had
think so?
said, well, you had said yourself, who's the best quarterback in the NFC? Who in the NFC right now is better than Jalen Hurts? I'm not saying Jalen Hurts is great. Who's better than Jalen Hurts right now in the NFC?
Jordan Love, Matt Stafford, Jared Goff,
NFC
Brock
North,
Purdy.
maybe.
Maybe. None of that is in any way, shape, or form. I can't confidently say that's true.
Yeah.
I don't think you can confidently. You're throwing out maybes.
Really?
Half the battle is winning your division, right?
Yeah, it's going to be hard for them to win that division.
Jalen Hurts might be the best quarterback in the NFC.
Yeah. You think it's going to be hard for them to beat the Cowboys that we just ragged on?
Yeah, I mean the Cowboys always they're going to be good,
Sure.
right?
They're middle of the road.
They're not going to win a Super Bowl, but they're going to be good.
Yeah.
And the Eagles have a lot of holes.
Yeah.
They were not a good team in the second half of last year,
Right.
and their coaching staff is pretty awful
Hmm.
to the point where in this offseason, their head coach had to give the ownership a presentation on how he was going to fix the team and resolve the issues that they had. I've never heard of that before.
Huh. Well, PowerPoint.
That seems same. That seems insane to me. Like a head coach having to explain to ownership how he's going to right the ship.
Well, I don't know. I guess I'd bet the 49ers and the Chiefs.
All right.
I wouldn't bet the Niners.
Here we go again.
Oh, jeez. I'm not betting them at plus 600. You got them at 10 to 1 last year.
Yeah, that's a way better price.
All right. Here's another one. RJ's Jaguars.
My Jaguars, my third favorite team.
Another year too early candidate that just missed the playoffs, and everyone is now questioning whether Trevor Lawrence can be the guy.
Hmm.
They added a new center, Mitch Morse, as well as Gabe Davis.
Oh, spicy.
They did just lose Calvin Ridley,
Right.
which we didn't know when I wrote
The
this.
GOAT.
They also upgraded on defense with Darnell Savage. They're 38 to 1 on Circa.
I like it.
I'm out.
Yeah, who's going to beat
I'm
them?
out on Trevor Lawrence.
That's the perfect time
Of
to
course.
buy. Right.
Of course,
You
we're
can't-
all out on him.
If you were in
But I
on
guess
Trevor
who's gonna
Lawrence,
win the
Kurt,
Super Bowl?
they would be 10 to 1.
Right.
Like, you're not going to be in on the guys who are, you don't get them at 38 to 1 when they've got the dude who's already been sold on.
So I guess
You're saying you know for certain now that the generational quarterback that was drafted to the Jaguars can't put together a redeeming career.
I think he'll be what he is.
I think-
what he is what he is right now.
I think the reason I wouldn't bet on the Jaguars this year and I did last year is because Houston did so well.
Yeah, Houston's a real threat. So are the Colts.
I think if you were going to go prospecting, the Jaguars and Trevor Lawrence would be a great one to bet on right now.
Yeah.
Well, look, Trevor Lawrence was the dude forever. And I know he
Yeah.
might not be now. I'm not saying he will. I don't know.
Yeah.
But there wasn't enough to show he was a failure yet. So let's find out. At 38 to 1.
That's pretty good.
Tasty. It's tasty.
That's pretty good, yeah.
Any other thoughts on free agency, Kurt?
No, not really.
Juice?
Haven't seen too many big
Absolutely not.
splashes. Haven't seen too many huge cuts. Not any big trades.
Justin Fields of the Jets one time
Okay, NCAA tournament kicks off next week. We're going to run through all the different ways we're gambling on the tournament next episode. But for today, I'm going to spend a few minutes just checking in on our plays, their current odds, and a look at the odds board.
All right.
First of all, you guys remember where we're sitting? We've got UConn 18-1, currently 5-1.
Nice.
And these are on the best markets we could get them. So consensus,
Sure.
Right. Auburn 20-1. Currently, they're between 20 and 25-1. We're sitting okay. That's fine.
I like that one. Yeah.
Kansas 25-1. You can currently get them at 40-1.
Oh,
that's unfortunate. Well, Kansas continues to slide. We will get into that in a minute.
Okay.
Gonzaga 40-1. Currently to 70-1. And if we had just gotten that win over St. Mary's, we could have a pointless victory. Would have been right in line with us, but it wasn't. That's okay. Creighton 50-1, currently 30-1. Alabama 60-1, currently 40-1. And USC 60-1, currently 1,000-1.
Hey,
And there's a
Ronnie
chance.
James, you stink.
A minute away from being eliminated. We also bet Houston 28-1 in November thanks to Corby, and I emotionally hedged with New Mexico at 100-1 and Illinois at 40-1.
Uh-huh.
Now,
Okay.
I'm going to see how quick I can do this because I keep doing this episode.
All right.
Here are the current favorites to win the title. UConn 5-1, Houston 7-1, Purdue 8-1, Arizona 14-1, Tennessee 14-1, North Carolina 22-1, Auburn 25-1, Kentucky 25-1, Duke 25-1, Creighton 30-1, Iowa State 30-1, Marquette 30-1, Alabama 40-1, Illinois 40-1, Kansas 40-1, Baylor 40-1.
Okay. That's the top 16 teams on the board.
We're fortunate that we in some way have 7 of those 16 teams, and 5 of those came directly from the exercise we've been working on. So here we go.
Fantastic.
We're going to do a quick update. Of those 16 teams, the 9 we have not played, we have eliminated Purdue, Tennessee, Marquette, all for having coaches who have proven they cannot win at all.
Mm-hmm.
We have eliminated Arizona, North Carolina, Duke, Iowa State, because their coaches are not yet ready for prime time. So that leaves us with 2 teams, boys. Same as last time, same teams we're still exposed to. Kentucky and Baylor. So let's check in with their metrics.
Okay.
Kentucky kind of came off as scary to me. Playing really well, won 5 straight, including wins over Alabama and Tennessee. But their defense still stinks. They are still 109th in the country, and I can't bring myself to push on a team with that obvious of a flaw this late in the season. So I just don't buy that they can do 6 straight with that defense, and I'm still not going to bet them. Baylor, the exact same boat. Their defense has gone down since our last update, putting them clearly in their defense can't win it.
Okay.
It's still slightly better than Kentucky's, but nothing special. I would not bet on either of these teams, and Corby just sprung on Baylor today. I was talking about it, but I said no.
Nope.
You can't do it. I almost commented on his post, and I was like,
We got a system, Corby.
sorry, Corby.
Okay. So we're good.
So, yeah, overall, I don't see anything worth adding.
Yeah.
Thank goodness.
We're really going to cut into our profit margin.
So I think we're done. We're going to find out here.
Thank goodness.
I'm much more worried about the coaches with inexperience than I am the coaches who have proven they can't win at all.
Yeah.
What you want to know what my actual fear is?
Yeah, please.
My fear here is
UConn.
we've seen so much turnover of the best coaches retiring or kind of falling off late in their careers now.
Your edge dries up as soon as you got it.
I'm worried that a lot of the title trends that we saw driving things, like
Yeah.
Duke, North Carolina,
Yeah.
Villanova, Florida, all those coaches who have moved on. And then you got like Izzo kind of, a lot of the premier coaches this year not exactly excelling. So I'm a little worried that if this is the wave of change happens right now.
Right.
So I got a question. When's Selection Sunday?
Sunday.
Sunday.
This Sunday?
Yeah.
Yeah. So here's the net. You want the net?
Well, so it's Selection Sunday after all the tournament games, right?
Yes.
Okay. It's usually like late Sunday afternoon.
It'll be at 4 or 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
Okay. And then
After the Big Ten's done.
we're gonna know the playing games and all that stuff.
Everything.
And then the playing games start when?
Wednesday. Tuesday.
Tuesday night?
Yep.
Wednesday night there's playing games, and
Yep.
then the Thursday is when the tournament starts.
Yep.
Beautiful. Thank you. I didn't know the schedule.
There you go.
So thank you.
Yeah,
All right, you got one more comment here? Can I ask a question?
you go.
So anybody we should double dip on here at this point?
No.
No, we're set.
I have double dipped at bad numbers a couple times, and I'm like, why you're wasting the edge that you got out of all these wagers.
Yeah, okay.
So I stopped, and I'm done.
Okay.
I got all my bets, and look, net, we look really good with a few of our positions. UConn, Auburn, Creighton, all still look relatively solid relative to what we got. Honestly, the numbers still look good on Gonzaga. Like, if you look at their numbers, they're going to be a dangerous team in the tournament. Could have gotten them at a better number, but they're still live. They'll get in.
Yeah, of course.
So in a perfect world, we would love UConn to play Houston.
In the championship?
In our perfect personal world, for this exercise, I would prefer it not be Houston.
Right.
Okay.
He wants it to be somebody off his list.
I would prefer it be one of the teams I picked. Houston,
Yeah.
we bet on because of someone else.
Oh,
And we
okay.
would not bet on Calvin Sampson if it was up to us.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Kansas, Alabama, still in good shape. We bought at. So we're okay. The only clunker was USC, and I admitted that mistake early on. Outside of that, we're in good shape. Made some gains, lost a little ground. The point of this exercise has never exactly been, can I predict closing line movement?
Yeah.
I have no idea how they're going
Right.
to improve throughout the season.
You're never going to do that, right? Because
Right.
somebody isn't one of the reasons why Kansas dropped is didn't they lose a player? Didn't they lose one of their best players and they've been struggling?
Yes, they lost Hunter Dickinson, but there's been other signs prior to that. Their offense has really dropped off. Their offense is no longer, we wouldn't be able to bet them based on their current offense's criteria.
Got it.
Alabama, we would not be able to bet them currently based on their defensive criteria.
Sure.
They're bad defense and a not good enough offense.
Yeah, we still got the ticket. What the heck?
We got the ticket and we got a good number. Their Alabama number is still better and Kansas is in line. Kansas, we lost some value on that. Whatever.
Yeah.
All right, we done. Is that good enough?
Yeah,
I'm
boy.
tired of talking. Woo,
Good
that'll
work.
do it for us, folks. Good juju to your bets. We'll talk again soon.
One more Sour Patch Kid.
Okay. Boxcar Children has a twisted backstory because for whatever reason, the Boxcar Children's parents did not want to introduce the Boxcar Children to grandfather. So they had no idea who grandfather was and they were terrified of him. So her parents die, and rather than go to their grandfather like they were supposed to, they run away and live in an abandoned boxcar.
Oh my God.
And then eventually they get found and grandfather comes and it turns out, oh, he's just a nice, crazy rich old white guy. Crazy rich and super nice. And then, but what the is happening that the mother and father didn't want the kids to meet the grandfather?
All right. So how does it end?
One of the kids is like 16.
On the registry.
So no, they go on. No, so that's the end of the first book.
Right.
And then
You're at the end
after
of the
that,
series.
there's like 40 whatever. I don't know.
Oh.
There's no end. It's not like they wrapped it with a concluding story and here's what happened to the Boxcar Children.
Oh.
So then it's just story after story of mysteries. And grandfather's always in them. And like these books are written in the 1950s and they write him as the nicest man in the world who owns all this like oil refinery companies and other things.
The kids can't beat him.
And I'm just thinking to myself, so we have a backstory where these 4 children ranging in age from 6 to 17 have never met their grandfather. Their mother and father die. They choose to run away instead of meet this guy. They meet him and it turns out he's super wealthy and gives them whatever the they want. And now they love him because of it. And then we just keep finding out that he's in all these businesses that if he really was in would probably have to make him an evil human being.
Nobody owns an oil refinery. Right. Isn't a mother.
Right. Like who in the 1950s is an old white man running an oil company and is a nice dude?
He's a mean ass.
All mother.
Oh my God.
So I love reading these Boxcar Children books
It's going to take you 10 hours to edit.
and just thinking about the complex nature of what's really happening in these social situations.